Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom, and L'chaim L'chaim. Obviously, tonight is Shavuot, and then we're going straight from Shavuot into Shabbos. And so I want to see if I could find a message that encompasses both ideas, both Shavuot and the Torah portion of Naso. So the first thing I was doing was looking to see what's the possible theme of the Torah portion of Naso. And it's quite difficult because there's so many different ideas. We have the accounting that we continued from last week. That still goes on a bit at the beginning of this week's Torah portion. We also have the laws of Mitzora and Azava and how far they could go in. So impurity, if a person's impure, how far into the camps are they allowed to go? Must they stay out altogether? Are they allowed to go to the Mishkan? We have the laws of the Sota, which is a wayward woman, or we have the laws of a Nazir, a person who takes on extra Kedusha, a Nazirite vow. We have the Kohanim's blessing, and then at the end of the Torah portion, we have these gifts that all the tribal princes bring and donate to the Mishkan. And so it's quite difficult to find a theme or a thread that's woven through all of them. But when I was thinking about it, I thought that maybe it's got to do with sickness, because if you look at impurity is a form of sickness. If a person's a mitzora, and they translate it as leprosy, or if a person's a zava, they're impure. And it continues with the sota, a person who does adultery, or a nazir has to bring a sin offering, but they take a vow, to abstain from wine and grapes and everything. So I thought maybe that's got something to do with sickness. And I thought that a message all of us can take to heart is something that I oftentimes encounter, which is sometimes we feel something, but we don't know how to describe it. And if we don't know how to describe it even to ourselves, then we can't solve the problem. And so sometimes you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you're in a bad mood, or something's wrong and you just don't know what it is. And I know from experience that this is one of the worst things that can happen. When I was running track and field, sometimes you're not competing properly. You're not able to perform and you don't know why. And you go to the doctors and you test your iron and you test all these different things, and they all come back saying you're fine, but you know inside that something's wrong and you just need the clarity, something to say, this is the problem, now I can solve it. And that happens all the time in life. Sometimes something is wrong and we don't know what it is. And I think the message that ties the Torah portion to Shavuot is that we can solve this problem. We can get clarity in our life, no matter what problem it is, whether it's a sickness or a lack of clarity, or you're just in a bad mood. You can solve this just by going to Torah. And that, I think, is recognized or represented in the Torah portion by the Kohanim's blessing. This special, unique, but so simple blessing of 3 lines is supposed to bring down an incredible level of light, so much so that we cover ourselves with our talis so that we don't look at the Kohanim when they're giving us this blessing. And they do this special hand sign, and there's supposed to be an incredible level of light that is coming down into the world and being blessed upon all of us during this time. And I think that the idea is that when we have a problem, whether we know what it is or whether we don't, HaShem will bring clarity and bring light into our life. And the one way that we always have access to is the Torah. When we're not sure of something or we need advice, this is one of the biggest things that I see with a lot of people, is that they don't have someone to give them good advice. And the Torah is always there for us. And it's chaval that people don't go to the Torah when it's right there. You read one line and it can give you all the clarity you need, because this is Hashem's words and He knows exactly what you need to hear. So I think the message for all of us, as we go from Shavuot into the Torah, into Shabbat, is that we need to remember that the Torah is always there for us, that Hashem is always there for us. He's given us this gift to advise us through life, to advise us through every problem, every ailment, every issue that we might encounter in life. The Torah is there for us. Hashem is there for us. Mizrat Hashem will all get the clarity we need, the advice we need, and we'll merit to live good, healthy, happy lives. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.